this information later on as well. So welcome, every one of you. Welcome and hello. This is our weekly check-in here in the Essentials for Peace and Balance Facebook community. And we are going to dive into an empathy walk today. This is really a quick but powerful tool to help you step into someone else's shoes and develop deeper understanding of their emotions, their thoughts, their needs. And I know you probably feel like I'm always worried about everyone else. What about me? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit too. And just a reminder, the spotlight sessions are part of our regular spotlight series that happens on Monday afternoons, noon Eastern time. And it's a way for you to explore with me some of the insightful practices that we use in our Mind Moments community, our Mind Moments membership. And it's a way to learn how to continue to build your inner peace, your empathy, and purposeful living. That's what we're all about. So, for today's session, I want to guide you through some scenarios that's going to help you reflect on um, what it means to show empathy, to have empathy, and you're going to reflect on it on your own. You're going to have an opportunity to just reflect. You can share if you want to, but it's not necessary. I'm just going to walk you through some scenarios. And if you're watching the replay, when I bring up a specific topic, you can just, and you want to journal on it or reflect on it for a little bit, just pause the recording. If you're live here, this is going to be recorded and posted on my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch the replay anytime you want. And then you can use these prompts to just think, to apply them in your own scenarios. So I hope that sounds good. Let's jump right in. So we're talking about an empathy walk. And what do you think an empathy walk is? You can post it in the comments if you want to. Let me know. What do you think is involved in an empathy walk? I've talked about this a few times in our in this group and also in the Mind Moments membership. It's really a focus on empathy. It's a way to build strong, compassionate relationships and being able to enhance your empathy can encourage responsible decision making in lots of different cases and circumstances in our life. So, today's goal is an exercise that's going to strengthen your ability to listen, not just to others, but to ourselves as well. And so, we're going to do that through exploring a few scenarios. And let me see here. Let me make sure we're live. I'm pretty sure we are, but anyway. All right. So let's get started with some of these scenarios. And like I said, the way this is going to work is I am going to walk you through a set of scenarios, and they're going to involve either some challenges or some emotional experiences. And then your job is to imagine yourself in each of these situations as the person experiencing it. And I want you to try to put yourself in their shoes. So we're going to think about how they feel. What do you think they need during that particular situation or life circumstance that they're going through? And think about how you would want to be supported in that moment. What would that look like for you? So, this is what we're going to do for our little empathy walk today. And after each scenario, I want you just to take a little bit of time to reflect, and you can comment if you'd like to. You're welcome to message me or even make your own post in the group about what you're feeling and what comes to mind. So, in this opportunity, these prompts are designed to help you explore your own thoughts and to feel how empathy could influence the way you approach situations in your own life that might be very similar. So feel free to type any questions, comments you want to as we move along. And we're going to be doing some reflecting. So let's get ready to write things down. All right. Are you ready? You got your pen, you got your paper, got your thinking caps on, what I used to say to the kids in the classroom. So we're going to walk through these scenarios. Like I said, imagine yourself in the shoes of the person that's going through these experiences. And I chose a few experiences because I happen to have a little bit of an inkling of what it feels like to be in these scenarios. So I wanted to share just a few with you. The first one, think about a close friend that's going through um, dealing with a serious illness, something that's come up. It's either a chronic illness or something that has gotten worse. And think about that. What emotions are they likely to be experiencing? Whatever this feeling might be, whatever this illness that they're dealing with, that they're coping with. And so think about, first of all, how they might be feeling in these certain situations. Do you think they're feeling fearful, uncertain, or maybe they're feeling hopeful? You know, people respond to serious issues in different ways. So we're just going to open the floor for that. How would you want to be supported in this situation if it were you facing some type of a health issue that is new to you, something that you're not familiar with, or maybe it's something that you have been dealing with for a long time? So think about it. And I want you to reflect on this. How does considering their emotional state shift how you might approach communicating with them? How might empathy guide your actions in a scenario like this? Think about it. If you want to, write down your thoughts in the comments. And we're going to move on to another one now. This one was focusing on someone who might possibly have some health issues. The next one, we're going to talk about someone, a friend, a relative, a co-worker who has a loved one who is incarcerated. There's a lot of us out there. We don't talk about it much, but how do you think a person who has a loved one who is in jail, in prison, whatever it might be, how do you think they're feeling? Think about it. Maybe they're embarrassed. They might feel isolated or even ashamed. These are some of the feelings I've gone through myself in this particular situation. And let's think about it on this empathy walk that we're on. Imagine how it feels to have to navigate the social stigma around a situation like this. Um, while you're supporting this person, think about it. What might it feel like? They might not even be necessarily really open to share anything with you because the feelings are so heavy. And let's reflect on how you would feel if you were in their shoes. How would you want someone to respond to you or to show you support? This can be a tough one. How can empathy guide the way you might offer help or simply be there for someone? So think about it, write your thoughts down, maybe even share in the comments if you'd like to. Someone who has a loved one, a family member, a close friend who's incarcerated. All right. And then here's another one. We recently had someone mention in our Facebook community that they are going to be facing the loss of a loved one because there are some issues that can't be resolved and it's coming close to the end. Or maybe you can think of someone who's already lost a loved one. It could be recently, it could be a few years back because grief has no bounds. There's no time limit. So, how can empathy help us understand people that are dealing with grief? Let's kind of imagine if we were in their shoes, and I've been in those shoes, what would you need from someone, especially someone who's not a close friend to you necessarily, but you empathize with them and you kind of feel a need to reach out to them? How can empathy help you decide the best way to show up for them, to care, and to support that person who is either facing a loss within the next few months or has been through it in the past? Think about it, write down your thoughts, your feelings on that one. And here's another scenario. Think about someone in your circle of influence who might be a grandparent that is taking on the responsibility of raising their grandchildren, or maybe someone in your circle who is caring for an elderly parent or uncle, aunt, whatever it might be, or maybe someone in their life who has a significant health issue and they require some additional support that maybe just an everyday live and let live isn't going to work because there's lots of appointments and situations that they need to juggle. So think about it. What emotions might they be feeling? Could be exhaustion, could be some gratitude in there, knowing that they've got this time to spend with this person in a unique way that most people, I shouldn't say most people, that some people are not, don't ever experience. Or maybe, let's be real, maybe there's some frustration sometimes going on. And think about it. Think about what you might need in a situation like this. What would you need most? Some type of support, just some understanding, maybe a break every now and then. I recently joined the caregivers group in Honolulu or near that area. It was in Hawaii. I don't exactly know where. And we talked a bit about this caregiving. And I'll tell you, people need a break. And the show is actually called Give Me a Break. So think about that. How does stepping into their role as a caregiver shift your understanding of these challenges? Maybe you are witnessing someone in your circle of influence who is facing certain things that you haven't had to face, but you feel for them. And how could your empathy change the way you offer help to them without overstepping your boundaries there or maybe adding more pressure in that particular situation? So just think about it. That is another one of the scenarios on our empathy walk today. And I know that bringing up those ideas there, those scenarios, give you a lot to think about, right? A lot to think about. So I'd encourage you to listen to this session again and spend some time doing it because I feel like it's a valuable exercise. And I hope that these scenarios will help you reflect on how practicing empathy can really shift the way you interact with others and the way you perceive how people interact with you. And it can also make a big difference in some of the decisions we make. So think about it. By imagining ourselves in someone else's shoes, we don't only become better listeners, but we are more passionate, more mindful, and we're more responsible in some of the decisions we make because we're coming at it from a place of intention rather than just reaction. So I wanted to share with you before we end and wrap today's session up. I'd like to invite you to take your empathy practice to the next level with a little resource that I have to share with you. I've created the Empathy Boost Daily Reminder Sheet, and it's a printable sheet that is going to help you develop greater empathy and mindfulness. And it's got some daily affirmations, some practical empathy challenges for you in there. And it's just a simple way for you to integrate empathy and responsible decision making into your personal and professional life. So if you'd like to grab a copy of that, the Empathy Boost Daily Reminder Sheet, you can do so by clicking on the link below and making sure that you have registered for the spotlight sessions and resources that I send out every week in the emails. And they'll be down below this chat here. If you're watching from YouTube, it'll be in the show notes. And then I want to thank you for spending a little bit of time with me on this empathy walk. And I hope it gives you a deeper insight on how empathy can really facilitate some positive shifts in maybe, a troublesome relationship. It can help with the decision-making process. And just a reminder, if you're not a member of the Mind Moments community, I'd love for you to learn about it. Check it out in the link. I'll put a post in there. And if you are a member of the Mind Moments community, I would encourage you to reflect on what we've talked about, these scenarios that I brought up. Reflect on them. And if you want to, go over to the Mind Moments community Facebook group and share your thoughts in there so that we can uplift and inspire each other. So thanks again for being here, for joining us. And those of you that might be watching from YouTube, or it's really the first time that you've heard about the Spotlight sessions, we have a vibrant Facebook community called Essentials for Peace and Balance, and it's the perfect space for you to connect with other peace and balance seekers and an opportunity for you to share your experiences and get an extra dose of inspiration every single day. So thanks again, folks, for taking the time to listen, to go on this little empathy walk with me, to do a little bit of reflection. And I'm wishing you all peace and balance and inner growth. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye bye.